It all started when I got that first message. Is this item still available? I hesitated to type a response when I read the second message. Oh, thank God, all the stores are sold out. I have to get this card. It's his favorite Pokemon. That final message sealed my fate. Then I'll be there in 20 minutes to collect it. I didn't mean to challenge the guy, to make an enemy out of him. It was late at night, I was tired. We both just so happened to go for the same card pack at the same time. I mean, hell, I didn't even see him until my elbow connected, hard with his nose.
Oh, fuck, dude,
he groaned, writhing on his back, blocking the entire aisle. He had his hand over his face, but I could see thick streams of blood running through his fingers.
Why the hell did you do that?
The guttural cry of the large man held a distinct tone of offense. The betrayal in his voice almost made me feel guilty. Sorry, the last card pack on the shelf, wrapped in aluminum foil, was in my hand. The weight of it made my heart flutter. I don't know shit about Pokemon, but I knew this blind pack had expensive potential. If there was anything valuable in it, I would be set for a few days at least. Look, man, I need this. Go scalp somewhere else. He stayed on the ground, staring agape at me like he couldn't process what had just happened. Tears welled up in his eyes, and I clutched the small rectangle tighter.
What? Dude, I'm not a scalper. I'm just trying to find a prismatic evolutions pack, he said, pointing to the object in his hand. Before June 1st. That's my boy's birthday. Everywhere's sold out of it. He just wants a Suicune card. It's his favorite Pokemon.
I looked down at the shiny TCG pack. It was the last one.
Please, sir,
the Rotan man begged, climbing unsteadily to his feet.
I'll even pay you for the pack if you just let me open it.
I took a step back. This was a trick, wasn't it? He has to be trying to swindle me.
If it has a Suicune, I'll just take it and give you the rest, I swear. If it doesn't, you can have the pack for free, and we can walk away like nothing happened.
He put his hands up defensively, the right one smeared with snot and blood. His nose looked visibly crooked and swollen. My heartbeat quickened. Had I really broken that man's nose? I had two choices. Trust the guy and potentially make some kid's birthday special, or trust my gut and leave like nothing happened. But if I opened it before I got home, I would risk depleting the value. The pack was in my hand. What did I have to lose?
Trust me, I won't press charges. I just need a...
Before he could continue, I slipped into the mass of Pokemon scalpers behind me, disappearing from his line of sight.
Fuck you, lying-ass bitch!
I yelled loud enough for him to hear, before scurrying to the front checkout. Keeping my head down, I paid for my other two items, a bottle of New Amsterdam and a carton of Snoop Dogg's waffle ice cream. The Prismatic Evolutions pack, however, I slipped into my pocket. No one any the wiser. I was home free. In the parking lot, I started my car and began looking at listing prices for cards found in this TCG pack. Some were very expensive, like enough to pay for gas and groceries for at least 3 or 4 days. Some went for as little as $2. I frowned. Were my odds really good enough to justify? I didn't have time to finish the thought. I looked up to see the large man, standing with an employee, right in front of the Target entrance. He scanned the cars before his eyes landed on me. We held eye contact for a moment. He leaned and whispered something to the small employee, and she too turned to look at me. "Oh, shit," I grumbled. Time to leave. As I pulled into the exit that would bring me back to the highway, I could have sworn I saw him pointing accusatorily at my 2010 Honda. Just like that, I was gone. Before long, I was in the parking garage of my apartment complex. I took a brief swig of the vodka bottle and immediately felt sick, the taste of Sharpie still lingering in my gullet. I grabbed my tub of ice cream and wobbled up to my front door. I always considered myself unlucky to live on the ground floor. Between my cat, who always bolted out of the open door, and the upstairs neighbors who made it their life mission to keep me from sleeping, my only respite was the lack of stairs. "Oh, fuck, Grimlock!" I yelled, but it was too late. The evil little tabby cat had already made her way halfway across the field that separated my front door from the woods. "Grimlock, get back here!" Her bright green eyes stayed trained on the bag in my hand, but only for a moment. With a flick of her tail, she disappeared into the dark of the tree line, likely hunting for rodents in the night. All I could do was sigh exhaustedly. This was, unfortunately, a nearly nightly occurrence. Give the idiot as much food, water, and toys as she could possibly want, but even that's not enough. All she was going to do was drink from the mossy, algae-filled bogs of the Everglade. And that'll teach me to buy her fancy water dishes. I got inside and made my way to the office. Upon my desk was a lamp, scalpel, plastic mat, and sanitizer spray. I carefully put on a pair of gloves and got to work with the scalpel. 11 trading cards in total. I don't know shit about Pokemon. I couldn't tell a Scarizard from a Trop novel, but as soon as I read the name at the bottom of the 5th card, I felt my stomach drop. Basic Suicune, HP 120. It couldn't be worth anything more than $5. I gritted my teeth. Oh, great, just great. Twisted piece of shit. I tossed the card aside and went down the line. Tyranitar X. Execute. Duskull. So on and so forth. In total, the entire pack added up to a measly $35, including the basic Suicune. I was angry, but mostly just tired. $35. Not a joke. With slumped shoulders and a broken resolve, I dumped cat food into a bowl while I considered my next course of action. What was I gonna do? Obviously, list them all for sale, delicately placed in individual vinyl card sleeves. $35 would pay for about 30 days worth of gas, but then what? How would I pay rent this month? Buy groceries? I set Grimlock's food outside, hoping she would follow the sound of me shaking the cat kibble. I didn't want to have to hunt her down in the dark woods again. I got inside and listed the cards on various websites, available for individual purchase or bundled for $40 altogether. I barely started the preservation process when I got my first notification. The first notification. Is this item still available? I realized with a knot in my guts that the request was for the water-type Pokemon. The damn Suicune. Yeah, $10 was what I responded. I almost hoped that the user would just ghost me, that the interaction would be over. Unfortunately, they kept going. $10? Yep, that's my price. Take it or leave it. Oh, thank God. All the stores are out. I had to get this card. It's his favorite Pokemon. The knot in my stomach became tighter. Word. Can I have an address to ship it to? I asked. Shipping? I was under the impression that I would be coming to retrieve the product. I was confused before realizing that our conversation was taking place on a website that required in-person exchange. I navigated to his user profile to check for the listed address. Nathan Lednook, looking for a Suicune card. 2130 Vicar Drive, Apartment 4, Dusk Pine Springs, Florida. 32435, 4 miles away. Grimacing, I knew I had no real reason to turn the guy down. And in the pit of my stomach, however, something was screaming for me to block him and be done. Is the address on your profile still accurate? He asked. Yes. Great. May we follow through with the exchange? May I purchase this product from you?
Yes. Then I'll be there in 20 minutes to collect it. The frown on my lips made itself more pronounced. I felt like something was horribly, horribly wrong. Cool, see you then. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Why was I so nervous? Had to get him this card. It's his favorite Pokemon. It's his favorite Pokemon. How stupid. I growled to myself. I'm being stupid. It's because I stole it. That's why, I told myself. I was acting guilty because I stole a 28 card pack from Target. I took another swig of New Amsterdam and ate a spoonful of ice cream straight from the tub. Cut out the pussy shit. I reprimanded myself. How stupid. After waiting 5 minutes, I went to check Grimlock's food bowl. Still full. Dumb cat. I shook one of her toys that had a bell attached to the end, even though it jingled obnoxiously for an interrupted 30 seconds. I didn't hear so much as a rustle from the tree line. I set my jaw, hoping it wouldn't be another swamp puppy sleepover. Last time, she spent all night out. She'd come back with a nasty gash on her foreleg. That nasty little cut had been the conduit for the impromptu vet visit that had lost me my job. I didn't care. Even though I was still paying off the bill, as well as the cost of the prescribed antibiotics, I wouldn't have done anything differently. My baby needed medical care. I had found other ways to get by in this dystopian lifescape. I just wished those other ways paid better. I went inside and checked the time before my investor's arrival. 13 minutes. I drank more to take the edge off. I was jumpy, twitchy. My eyes darted around my small apartment at every little movement. I perceived an undertone of raw panic beginning to pool around my feet, threatening to rise over my head and drown me. I had to steady my nerves. I had another sip of the Crayola marker-flavored liquor. It made my mouth dry and my legs numb. 5 minutes earlier than expected, I heard a message ping on my phone.
I'm here, apartment number 19, right?
I peeked out of the curtains into the guest parking area. I didn't see any cars. Maybe he had parked on the main garage by accident. Yeah, but if you're parked anywhere but guest parking, they might tow your car, dude, I responded.
It's okay. This shouldn't be more than a few minutes.
I peeked out of my curtains again. Still nothing. Not even the motion-activated lights on the main office were alive. My hand shook. Something was wrong. Yep, apartment 19, I reiterated. The reply I got next didn't come from our chat. I looked up at my curtains. No way I'd heard that. My trembling hand slowly rose to pull them back. The sudden sound startled me so bad that I let out a terrified, drunken squeal. Somebody was tapping on my window. I tore back the curtains. Nothing. This isn't funny! Are you there or not? I yelled. There was silence, followed by a noise I wasn't expecting. Marp. What? Meow. Was that my cat? Grimlock? I asked, voice breaking. Scritching at the bottom of the door like two little paws were batting in an attempt to get my attention. I reached for the handle, and in an instant my front door exploded in a series of banging and slamming. I assumed someone was trying to break in. Oh my God, the scream came involuntarily as I darted to my kitchenette, searching frantically for a knife. My fingers were curled around a thick meat cleaver. I spun around to face the boisterous assault against my entrance. Something yowled and hissed as more heavy slams and punches barraged the wooden door in its frame. At one point, I almost thought the door would simply bust off its hinges, the deadlock splintering out of its hole like a projectile. As I braced for impact, holding the knife up in defense, the sounds came to a dead stop. No more meowing, no more bludgeoning, just silence. I
crept forward, still holding the knife in a death vise. I jumped when I heard a ping on my phone. A new notification. Come outside. I stared at the notification for at least 30 seconds. My eye twitched. What kind of sick game was this? Cautiously, I unlocked the deadbolt, then the handle lock. I took a deep breath. I have a knife and I'm coming out, I yelled hoarsely. I realized I was crying at this point. The scene just outside my front door almost made my legs collapse right out from under me. Grimlock's food bowl was tipped over, its contents spilled everywhere. The front of the door looked like something with long, sharp claws had mauled it. But that was nothing compared to the absolute carnage that decorated the paved walkway. I've never had a strong stomach. I've never been able to handle gore. Blood on its own is usually enough to make me queasy. Fuck you, lying ass bitch, had been spelled out across my welcome mat in the concrete slab using entrails and splatters of bodily fluid. The dot over the eye was an organ that looked like a tiny kidney or liver. And I threw up all the alcohol in my stomach, weeping. Oh, God, was all I could say at first, as streams of liquid bile and ammonia hurled like a waterfall from my throat. I felt like my airway was going to prolapse. Oh, God, I screamed. Who the fuck did this? My vocal cords felt like they were tearing apart. This had to be a trick. It couldn't be real. Grimlock, where the fuck are you? I spun back and forth, turning around in endless circles. I felt like a weak, trembling hurricane, and no one responded to my wailing, not even my neighbors. I thought someone would have been disrupted by my anguish, but not so much as a porch light came on. Are you ready? A voice echoed from nowhere. I reeled from the sudden company. I tried to locate the source of the sound. Then, to my lingering dismay, I found it. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. As I stared longer, my brain processed what my eyes were transmitting. I don't fully believe that my sight was completely accurate. I couldn't. It was a man standing at the tree line. I couldn't see his face. I could barely see his silhouette at all, but standing to his right, I could clearly make out something huge. I almost thought it was a deer or an elk at first. As I picked out more of it, mentally separating its antlers from the surrounding trees and overgrowth, I had the crippling notion that whatever it was couldn't be real. It was an abomination. Its face was a skull, nearly fully hidden within the shadows of the Everglades. The cancerous, spiny jaw hung open to reveal rows of glittering incisors. Even though it was far away, I could make out a blanket of dark fur on its back, like a rotting, nightmarish grizzly bear. Nearly overshadowing the beast entirely was a pair of massive antlers, racked so twisted and brambly that they wove in and out of each other, misshapen and painfully unnatural. I have a memory of a dead bush that my mom had to chop down when I was a kid. It had never been trimmed or pruned, just left to grow into itself, twisted and gnarled. And as I studied the intricate patterns of the horns, I made out a small, still, ragged shape slung over its leftmost antler. No, not slung over, impaled or gored. Grimlock, I whimpered. The creature's deranged, cow-like skull smiled at me. Deep in its socket, something malignant glinted at me, 2 tiny pinpricks of intelligent light. What the fuck do you want? I cried. In a deep voice so dry I felt its rattle behind my eyes, it uttered, Suicune. What? I pleaded.
Where's the card?
The large man asked. Huh?
Suicune. The card. I know you have it.
he reiterated. It's you. He stayed silent for a moment. You fucking know it's you, I screamed. Are you gonna hand it over? He asked, his soft voice nearly swept away by the muggy, humid breeze. No! He looked at his monstrous companion. It's almost my boy's birthday, he said, gently rubbing his hand through the matted back fur of the beast. Sweet corn, it moaned. The voice sounded like an animal impersonating a person. The syllables were janky. Are you really going to deprive him of his favorite card? Is that my... I cried, my voice breaking. The man just stared at the small broken body speared by its hellish antler. Grimlock. My knees buckled. She's... The card, Nathan growled, stepping towards me. Never! Nathan's obscured face twisted into rage. His crooked nose became visible as he got closer. Two long, bone-colored tentacles snaked out from behind the monster and twisted around the body of my cat. As it slowly pulled her off, she made a pitiful, squeaking sound. She was still alive. No! I dropped her to the ground in front of it. No! It looked back up at me. Its grin looked even bigger somehow. With one drawn-out step, it brought its heavy hoof down on the small, fuzzy ball. And I heard the sound of snapping. And then nothing. Sweet corn. Getting closer and closer. By now its owner was standing right in front of me, looking down at my teary, grief-filled eyes. What is... I could barely speak. My brain felt like it had been put through a blender. Nathan grinned maliciously. He leaned down, ran his thumb over my cheek, his dry garment smeared with blood from the ground beneath him. Oh, that's my sweet coon. I've had him since I was a baby. He wants his very own card for his birthday this year. The clopping of the massive hooves was audibly closer now. I looked at the blood spattered all over my patio. The knife fell from my hand. Why? I blubbered. Why would you do that? The man standing over me scowled as his Suicune finally caught up. The creature seemed to sneer at me, too. Well, earlier when you broke my nose, you challenged me to a duel. I was just finishing what you started, that's all. He responded smugly. I was confused because yours was a ground type. You never really stood a chance. He shrugged and went in to retrieve his card. Brand new, still in its transparent plastic sleeve. I left you $10 on your counter. And by the way, I'm not going to press charges, but I am going to give you a 2-star rating on the app. With that, his footsteps crunched away, the massive beast following. I looked down at the overturned cat food bowl and door. I was devastated. What bullshit was this? It wasn't fair. It wasn't right. I mean, how the hell am I supposed to flip anything if I have a 2-star rating?
Hey there, peoples. A quick thank you to 4THEB3TTERG00D for allowing me to use their Pokemon story, and to everyone who subbed, liked, and made it to the end. Sorry for taking so long to get this one out there. Hopefully the next one won't take such a long time. Until then, though, take care of yourself, because the world needs you.